Growing up, I never felt like I belonged. I was walking around in a world filled with grief, fear, and anxiety. I never knew where to go, who to turn to, or how to express myself. These feelings had begun to resurface within me again in recent weeks. I couldn't quite work out why, but getting out of bed became a chore once more, and my lust for life began to diminish. I knew I somehow needed to get myself out of this place. In the depths of my despair, I came across a post online by a talented musician that I admire. It said, "You control your destiny. It's a state of mind with hard work and consistency. Never give up in the face of your demons. Never give in the face of your enemy. Never give up when you don't recognise you. Find the way back to yourself and start again." So here I am, in the one place that's always been there for me, Mother Nature, off to embark on what makes me feel free. It was time to get out my camera and begin the process of reconnecting with the world I love once more. It was time to reconnect with me.
This week has been tough on so many levels, but I know that when I am struggling, I have to get outside, I have to get outdoors, I have to connect with nature, and I just have to enjoy the process of being here, and I have to do something creative. And one thing I always kind of recommend to my clients if they're feeling stuck in a rut creatively is to try something new. So tonight I'm going to try a new initiative, something that I've never tried before as a photographer, but I've always wanted to do this, and because I haven't got much energy today and I'm struggling to find that inspiration, I thought tonight is the perfect opportunity to do this. And the plan is just to stay where I currently am. I've walked up to the highest point I can find at the location I'm currently on. I'm going to put my new 100 to 400mm lens on my camera, and I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to sit here for probably about 2 hours, and I'm just going to immerse myself in the scenery around me. I'm going to watch the light change, I'm going to watch the clouds change, I'm going to admire the sea, I'm going to do some deep breathing, I'm going to take my socks and shoes off and do a bit of grounding and earthing, and literally just sit here and not move from this spot, and use this one lens to zoom into different parts of the landscape and take images. Just see what I can do from one spot without moving, because I'm pretty certain there's going to be a lot of photographic opportunities here, and this is a really nice mindful challenge. It requires very little energy, but a lot of grounding and a lot of recharging the batteries through the power of nature and of course creativity. So let's get this lens on and let's begin this process. Is actually so much fun. When I initially arrived here, when I was walking to this exact spot, there was two things that were really catching my eye. Actually, there was three things that were catching my eye. One was there's an oil rig sort of platform thing out at sea, and when I was further down the beach coming here, there was beautiful light on it. Since I've got here, that light has disappeared and it's not really making for a particularly captivating photograph. But that was the first thing when I arrived that caught my eye. I might just take one snap of it just as a little memento from what I saw. Yeah, it doesn't look particularly great. But that was really speaking to me, because it's something I wouldn't normally shoot, but the way that the light was hitting the metal of that structure, I was just finding it really interesting, and it was just reminding me a little bit of the importance of light in photography. And the second thing I was really noticing was the light hitting the village of Berg Head and illuminating it on the horizon. But I kind of noticed that the clouds weren't really playing much interest within the scene, so I wasn't sure if that would be something I would capture. And the third thing that was causing a lot of interest for me is these beautiful puffy clouds that we've got in the opposite direction. I mean, they're just stunning. They really are beautiful. But trying to isolate them in an image is not the easiest of tasks. But I'm kind of hoping that concentrating on clouds from time to time might actually open up some interesting opportunities, just to zoom right into them and try and find shapes and textures and patterns within them that may tell a story. I think that could be quite an interesting subject. But the thing that's really captivating me since I've got up here is you'll see there's a beautiful light streaming through the clouds over there, where we've actually got a very dark band of rain over there, rain cloud over the opposite side of the sea. It's really quite foreboding. I mean, over the other side of the Moray Firth right now, they're definitely getting a good soaking over there on the Black Isle in the Highlands. But there's been quite a lot of people walking along the beach, and they're silhouetted against this vibrant, or this very powerful, should I say, bright light. So because there's these beautiful silhouettes walking along the beach, I'm trying to utilise that light and photograph people from really far away so they can't be identified, but just their shadows and how that is being showcased against that very bright light. So they're my initial thoughts of doing this sort of challenge, this new way of doing photography. But yeah, I mean, I've literally only been here for 10 minutes and already I'm feeling more inspired, and already I've got at least one image that I'm happy with. So yeah, it's going to be quite an exciting 2 hours. I just hope that rain doesn't come over here though, because yeah, it's looking pretty wet and miserable over there. Wow. That is amazing. Wow. Do you know, oh, that person's gone. Do you know, I actually think I've just captured my favourite image that I've ever taken from Findhorn, and I have photographed this location probably about 100 times. I am always here. But by using this zoom lens and zooming right down the beach and photographing these people against that stunning light, which unfortunately has just gone behind the clouds, I'm getting a completely different perspective on this location that I've loved and photographed for many years. A completely different perspective. This is what it's about when you're struggling. It's about, I think in all aspects of life, no matter what you're struggling with, it's trying to work through your emotions and your thoughts, but also to kind of change your perspective on things, to reconnect with yourself. And the great thing about creativity is there's so many different perspectives, so many different ways you can view things, so many different ways you can express yourself, so many different things you can connect with. And it's about finding what really speaks to you and what can connect you. And what I'm doing right now with this light that's unfortunately about starting to go behind the clouds, but with this light and with this different perspective because of this lens, it's rejuvenating me, revitalising me. It's not getting rid of everything, but it's given me a release. And it's allowing me to connect with parts of myself that I've definitely been disconnected with this week. was very lucky to just arrive at this spot and have photographic opportunities straight away. The sun has now gone behind a very big black rain cloud, so I'm not sure if it will come out again, but because the light is quite flat right now and I'm struggling to find further opportunities to photograph, I'm gonna just take 10 minutes to do that visualization, almost meditation style exercise that I spoke about a few weeks ago on this channel. Just sit here, I'm going to close my eyes. Thankfully, because I'm up on a sand dune, it's unlikely anybody else is going to come up here, so I'm hoping I could do this uninterrupted. I'm just going to close my eyes for 10 minutes and just listen. And the great thing about being by the coast is I've got the sea behind me, but also I've got a lot of gorse bushes and heather and stuff in front of me, where I can hear birds like yellowhammers tweeting away. So yeah, I'm just going to do that 10-minute deep breathing, closing my eyes and listening to nature exercise. And hopefully when I open my eyes again, there'll be more opportunities waiting for me. Well, it worked wonders yet again. That closing your eyes for 10 minutes and just allowing yourself to hear nature and then opening them and looking around you, you just notice new things. And behind me here, you won't see it on that camera because it's so far away, but you can see it really well with this lens. There's this beautiful puffy white cloud, very vibrant white, and on the top of it you've got this lovely streak of darker blue clouds, and then near the bottom of it you've got these smaller puffy dark clouds. And to have that gap between them and have that nice puffy cloud in the middle, it just looks really nice as a photograph. But what made the photograph even better was when I put the camera up to take the image, a bird flew through the middle of it. It wasn't quite through the middle, but it flew through that gap between the top and the bottom darker clouds, right in that nice white area. Just perfect timing. It was literally like it was meant to be. And I got an image that, although the bird's very small, I really like it. It's showcasing something a little bit different in nature, and I don't think if I closed my eyes for 10 minutes and then opened them and really started looking around me that I would have thought about shooting that image. But I'm really happy with it. That technique works. If you've not tried it yet, I'd recommend trying it. It's beautiful. And like, as you can see, my perspective on creativity and photography has changed quite a bit tonight. I think my perspective on life is changing a bit too. I feel a little bit more connected with myself again, and that feels great. I actually can't believe how amazing this is. You know, there's so much we can't see from where we're standing. What I mean by this is I'm looking at these incredible clouds, and to where I'm standing they look nice, but when you zoom into them and take images of them, you're seeing just these smaller aspects of them. You're getting so much closer to them, of course, and you're just seeing elements of them that you can't quite see and make out with your eye from where you are. And within these clouds you've got these birds flying through them, which again, they're so far away that I can't see them from where I'm standing, but when I start taking images I just start seeing all these birds in the distance and the relationship they're having with these clouds as they're flying through them. I've just taken quite a few images that I'm actually pretty impressed with. You don't hear me saying that very often, but I think it's just tonight, just gaining a new perspective. Some of these images look heavenly. These beautiful, beautiful clouds and these beautiful birds flying through them. Wow. Wow. I'm absolutely loving this process. It's so good. So I think I'm going to call it a night. It's currently the 30th of May, but today the temperature hasn't really got above 8 degrees. Now I know Scotland can be cold, but 8 degrees given it's June in 2 days. It's very unseasonably cold, and yeah, I'm really starting to feel it now. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I've been here for about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure I've got at least 5 images that I'm happy with, and I have to say I knew this was going to be a fun exercise, and I had a feeling it was going to be a good exercise, and I'm so glad that it has been. It's helped me to gain a new perspective as a creative, as a photographer, a new perspective on the world. It's allowed me to see new things and connect with a location that I know so well in a new way. And it's, as I say, it's something that I encourage other people to do regularly. And now to be able to do it for myself, particularly on a week like this where I've just been really struggling to get motivated to do anything, to even get out of bed, to come onto a location that means so much to me and connect with it in different ways and come away with images that I'm happy with is, yeah, it's been a great evening, a really, really good evening. So yeah, just get out there and play around with things and gain a new perspective. Gain a new perspective. We will never grow in life if we stay within our comfort zone and within the world that we embody every day. We have to get out there and gain new experiences, try new things, and that's how we grow, how we evolve, how we learn. And the more we can do that, the more interesting life becomes, I think. And this technique, I'm definitely going to be doing it again. Definitely. In fact, it could be something I do quite regularly from now on, because I've loved this. And as I get more and more into mindfulness, I think just sitting in one spot and just admiring the world and watching it go by and watching the weather change and the clouds change and the light change and people walk by, and it's such a mindful and immersive experience. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. As always, I want to say a huge thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time.